Okay, good evening and happy Saturday evening, first Saturday of the year, and what a good start to start the year with a wellness session. Thanks, Dr. Shreya, accepting for our invite and taking this particular session. We'll get started now. So, a couple of ground rules. Take the advantage of networking opportunity using chat window. Post all your questions using Q&A button. They'll be answered during Q&A session or as and when the host can pick up some questions and pick it up. We'll be sharing the PDU code. Not sharing the PDU code, we'll be directly crediting your PDUs into your no PMI ID. If you are the active PMI credential holder, it will be auto credited. Okay. And yeah, I'm sure this particular slide is not sufficient to talk about Dr. Shreya and her credentials and her the achievements, but let me now try to brief it. Dr. Shreya has been in the health and wellness space since few years. After completing her PhD in biomedical engineering from IIT Mumbai, she has always inclined towards educating people about preventing diseases through simple lifestyle and food changes. She is also an she has an academic background in naturopathy and yoga from Gandhi National Academy of Naturopathy, New Delhi. She has conducted more than 100 workshops and seminars on health and health living and natural lifestyle so far with organizations such as Tech Mahindra, State Electricity Board, are few to name. She is a chief scientist advisor for a fast-growing D2C wellness brand called Adar. She is a personal wellness coach for lifestyle and health issues, which uses integrated holistic approach with customized recommendations based on modern and classic lifestyle systems. I'm sure she can talk more about her achievements and her credentials, and also she can share a lot of her experience in in the space of wellness. So, Dr. Shreya, thank you so much again for accepting this particular invite and being in this session today. And over to you. You can start your presentation, share your screen.
Thank you, Praveen. Thank you so much, Manohar and the entire PMI team for letting me share my thoughts. And a very good evening and warm welcome to you all. It's quite chilly in North, where I'm currently living. And it's good to see the enthusiasm of people to join on a Saturday evening. I'll just start the slides. It's visible, right?
Yes, yes, it is.
So, when we talk about health, we always think about food, diet, calories, and also exercise to some extent. But the most intangible aspects of our health, such as sleeping, such as breathing, and body clock, they always go for a toss because they are quite intangible in nature and we hardly care for them. So, this is the very basic reason why I chose this particular topic because across the world, there are many therapies that are emerging that just use your body clock or your sleep hygiene and sleep routine to get your health back on track, and there is no need to take medications at all. So, why not tap the hidden power of these intangible systems, which are very much a part of this amazing, miraculous human body? At the beginning of every talk, I say that I'm indebted to nature, I'm indebted to the systems that uh, always encouraged me to live a life which is in sync with nature and also encourage others to do so. As a 4-year old, I had severe asthma, and when no medicines worked, my parents took a natural route and started experimenting with some things which were based on water therapy, which were based on sunlight, and then it gradually helped the entire family. And we realized that treatment just as a autopilot mode is not the way to live. The best way is to understand that we are a very part of the nature And just by abusing it on a daily basis, we can invite serious troubles. So I will always say at the beginning of my any session that it's the nature which heals, not any medicine, not any system, but it's the very power which lies within us. When we talk about health, what is health? Can any blood report tell us about health? You must have heard many times that people keep on saying, "Oh, my blood reports are perfectly fine. My X-rays show no infection. My all the investigations show that I'm just fine, but I don't feel healthy. I can't sleep. I have this very troublesome pain in my head, or something or the other." That means that only reports sometimes cannot show the entire picture of your health, and we just keep on feeling puzzled and troubled about what is wrong in my body, because health is not just absence of disease. It is a reflection of so many aspects, such as what we think, how we sleep, every little aspect from morning to night, and then our quality of sleep, everything affects environment, the way how we deal in our relationships. So there are so many indicators of health that we ourselves can assess better than any report. So it's important that we take charge of this human body. When we buy a very expensive iPhone or a luxury car, we don't just leave it like that. We struggle, we strive a bit to understand that how it works, what are the different facilities or the features or what are the protocols. But our human body, which is priceless, we never try to read the unsaid protocol of what goes in the body, what the body accepts in the best way possible. For few millions, we care so much, but for priceless body, we never take care. And I think this is the main reason. Whether we are from a commerce background, from an engineering background, from an arts background, we need to deal with a car or a mobile. Likewise, we need to take care or deal with human body. Even if we are not from life science background or we are not a medico, but we have to deal it with on a daily basis. So any noise that the body makes, any discomfort that arises, we should be able to decode it. We should befriend our body. And that is the main motivation. I feel that we should actually learn some language of this amazing machinery. This is my favorite picture. You know why? Because this is the representative of all of us. We all are so busy chasing the dreams that we often forget that there is some sort of inflammation, some sort of trouble. Just imagine if the pilot or the commando says, "No, I'm very qualified, I'm very experienced. I can take the aircraft to the next horizon, to the next level, next altitude. Don't tell me about the fire." We are going to say that, "Are you crazy? How can you even think of that? You have to first think about the safety." I think this is the mistake we all make. Okay, there is a little pain in the back. It's okay. Okay, sometimes I feel lightheaded. That's fine. But there is some sort of inflammation. There is some sort of problem that the tissue, that the cells are facing. And if we, who is the in charge, is the lead pilot of this amazing body mind combination, if we ignore it like that, it is sure to take form of a huge hazardous flame from a small spark. Just because we are ambitious or qualified or experienced doesn't mean that we don't need to take care of the small safety or the small health concerns, which can become something very serious. You all must have heard the incidences of diabetes, cancers, heart problems, blood pressure, and whatnot. And with every passing year, we are seeing that the number of such diseases is on a rise. Despite the technological advancements, despite the scientific discoveries, there's something wrong how we are dealing ourselves. And this is why we tend to ponder, should we change the way we are living, or we are behaving with ourselves? So whenever we fall sick, like if there is a normal viral fever, or some sort of cold and cough, some pain, headache, we when we look at somebody else, we feel, oh, I'm feeling so crippled, I'm feeling so lazy, I don't feel like getting up, and that this person is looking so fresh, I wish I just get well soon. So good health is that crown which only a sick person can see on a healthy person's head. So let's take back this crown and make sure that we can keep it erect on our heads. And just with small interventions, small changes, and small understandings about this body, we don't need to feel crippled at every small disease, or we should be so sufficient that we don't fall sick. And it's quite possible, except very small and very occasional episodes, we can be healthy. It's quite possible. It looks like a dream though, but it's quite possible because we are endowed with all those possibilities. So covid covid was like an examination given to the human beings by nature. It was like a surprise test. Oh, you call yourselves very smart. How prepared you are for a tiny virus. Are you prepared? Let me show you. And we all have been witnessing this crazy era of almost 3 years, which showed us the importance of a very, very small uh, something that we always ignore, oxygen. The perfect atmosphere of Earth is just is just taken for granted by all of us all the times. If we breathe pure 100% pure oxygen for prolonged hours, our lungs will be injured. The atmosphere is so perfect. During COVID, we realized the value of oxygen, which is freely available to us right now. And mucormycosis. You all must have heard the name of black fungus, which emerged in later phase of COVID era. And some of you would be knowing that because of the decision where industrial grade oxygen was routed for medical use, and of course combined with use of lot of medications, it led to such state that black fungus could harm so many covid patients, and it was really scary and was a nightmare for those who suffered. So the crux here is that what we are getting in form of perfect oxygen for breathing, growth, survival is literally priceless. So right now, sit straight wherever you are, even if your videos are off, that's fine. Just start enjoying this priceless gift by breathing as deep as you can. It's it's about valuing what we have. Otherwise, we'll just strive for what we lose, and then we start craving for what we have lost. So at this very moment, let's start valuing this amazing entity. As a child, when we look at a baby, we always see that the baby breathes so well. When you look at their belly, it goes up and down because they are breathing so deeply. When we look at ourselves, we are so engrossed. As we grow up, as we feel more stressed, as we think about so many things simultaneously and doing multitasking all the time, our breathing becomes shallower and shallower. Oxygen is the very basis of energy, of metabolism, of fighting the pathogens, of expelling the toxins from the system. Even a bit of hypoxia, hypo means low, as you all know, any deficiency of oxygen at various levels of our tissues lead to some or the other problems. So, perfect level of oxygenation is central to a perfect health. And you don't need to go anywhere. You don't need to install anything on your wonderful body. All you need to do is be aware this very moment. There's one more very specific thing about natural air. In our offices, in our homes, we are always surrounded by electronics, mobiles, screens, ACs, fans, heaters, and whatnot. Now, this kind of air purifiers, which are also ionizers, which generate negative ions. So, negative ions are naturally abundant near waterfalls, in the open spaces, and they are great for health. They are amazing for various health problems. But now, because when we live in closed spaces with a lot of electronics, which are more predominant in positive ions, we need these negative ions. So, along with air purifiers, these ionizers are also coming. But the main message here is that why don't we make best use of the times or the possibilities to go out in the outdoors and have this negatively charged air automatically, which is perfect for health. When we are stressed out, then breathing pattern also gets altered automatically. You would realize it. At this very moment, let's do a quick self check. Just sit straight, because when we don't sit straight, it affects the depth of breathing. Place your left hand on your belly and right hand on your chest. Right hand on your chest and left hand above your belly, and do a normal breathing cycle. Do not change it, just do how you were doing before this moment. And with the normal inhalation and exhalation, try to feel the movement of your hand as you inhale, which hand goes up, and when you exhale, which hand goes up or down. So I'm sure you would have understood. You would have felt either your hand on chest is moving up and down, or your hand on belly is moving up and down. If we are breathing properly, the hand on belly should move, because it's not that the air is going in the belly, it's that it's going till the deepest part, then diaphragm is affecting the belly and it is moving up and down. So we have to breathe in such a way that our belly does the movement. And when we do a deep belly breathing, the entire body is in a good state of oxygenation. There is no deficiency of oxygen. And we all want good immunity. We all keep on drinking immunity boosters and various concoctions, and we all want good digestion. We keep on taking things to improve our digestion, to fight indigestion, to fight constipation. But what if the entire superpower lies in perfect breathing. I'm sure you would have felt something about how your breathing pattern right now is. We can talk about it in the end or through chat. There are two more patterns of breathing that I would like to share with you. The best part about breathing is that it not only affects your body, your physical health, but your mental health also. After COVID, I realized that more than the physical health problems, people used to come to me or request for a webinar or a seminar on mental health. So, depression, anxiety, restlessness, poor performance, lightheadedness, then brain fog, and whatnot. Without a proper mental health, without a peace and without a peaceful, calm mind, we definitely cannot feel the happiness. So, when it comes to breathing, it directly impacts our mood, our memory, our sleep. 478 breathing is a technique which will immediately make you feel relieved, and it will definitely have positive impact on all the aspects of physical metabolism as well. So let us demonstrate 478 breathing. You can do it before sleeping, like you can just lie down and do it for some time. Of course, the best time to do is when you're empty stomach. You can do it in the morning also when you have come out of your deep sleep, but you still feel like lying in the bed. That time also you can exercise this for a few minutes. What actually happens when we grow up, we forget the natural systems, and this is the time we need to kind of train ourselves again. We were trained as a child, but now when we are grown up, we need to train ourselves to become a child again in terms of how to sleep, how to breathe, how to be energetic. When you look at a child, and a child is so energetic, it can just do, he or she can just do anything without getting tired. So in 478 breathing, at a mental, at a head count of 4, 1 to 4, we have to inhale. At a head count of 1 to 7, we have to hold it. And then at a head count of 1 to 8, we have to exhale it. So the time for exhalation will be exactly double that of the inhalation. The biggest impact of 478 breathing is on vagus nerve, which is the biggest nerve in our body. And if you can engage and stimulate vagus nerve, the benefits will be very long lasting and you'll feel them immediately. So, Praveen, let's do 478 breathing. I'll count and you have to just follow with me.
Okay.
When I'll say inhale at a head count of 1 to 4, you have to inhale, then you have to hold. And when you exhale, exhale deeply, exhale completely. You should feel that the lungs don't have any residual air anymore.
Okay.
Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'll again do it, but I'll do it in my own head count. You can also do it with me. We'll start. Let's do it one more time. 478. Inhalation, holding, and exhalation. Start. Make sure whenever you do this, your back is straight, your shoulders are relaxed, chin parallel to the ground, and teeth closed. Let's do it one more time. 478. Anybody who's trying this right now, you can ask in the chat box if there is any question or doubt. Last time. Could you follow it, Praveen?
Yes, I did. I did. I'm just like last cycle I did not do because I'm checking the chat window if there are any messages to read out.
Right, right,
Yeah.
right. Did you feel any difference in how we normally breathe and
Yes, yes.
how did you feel?
It's good. It's great. So there was a question from Bala Ravindranath. After exhale, how much we need to count before we start the next inhale?
You can take a normal breathing. You can do a normal breathing cycle and then again do a 478.
So immediately after exhaling, you can do a
Normal.
force inhale. So Bala,
Yeah.
probably that
After doing
answers that answer.
after doing 1 4 7 8, you can do a normal breathing, then again do a 4 7 8, then do a normal breathing like that.
Okay. All right. Okay. Any other questions, guys? Anyone about this exercise? So as Shreya have mentioned, it's doing it at the empty stomach is the most effective.
I'm sure that this time most of some people would have their evening snacks, so empty stomach condition is not very much valid right now. But you can
Yes.
definitely try it, and you can reach out to me if you have any questions. But all those who could do it, I'm sure you could feel because it directly engages the vagus nerve. So, what exactly did you feel, Praveen, after doing it? If you could do it twice or thrice?
Yes. It's like a kind of little activeness inside the body, and also the no what I can say is like the kind of freshness in mind. It's kind of some kind of that experience. I'm not
Yes.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah, because you just did it twice, but yeah, even if you do it 5 times, you'll feel the immediate relief. Yeah, somebody is asking something.
Can we try this before sleep?
Yes, you can do this while laying on the bed also, and you can do it before sleeping also. But make sure that you you don't lie on the bed immediately after eating. Anyways, that's not recommended. Whatever may be the case, there should be at least a 2 hours of gap between your last meal and sleeping time, so that the vital systems and the digestive system is not under a undue pressure, and even it is not good for the heart to just sleep immediately after a heavy meal. That's why it's always said that your last meal should be somewhere around the sunset time. But if you can't follow it, then make sure that you sleep a little late. So you can, yes, you can do it while lying on the bed. And even if you can't follow a 4 7 8 exactly, make sure that the time of exhalation is double than the time of inhalation. Even if you follow that much, that will do wonders for you. So for example, if you're taking it in your particular head count of say 6, then exhale on a head count of 12. If it is 5, then make the exhalation to be 10. Just make sure that the pace of your head count is same throughout, and you can do it up to 10 minutes before just going in the sleep phase, and after waking up you can do it lying in the bed also, because it's like training. And the terminals of our daytime, like just before sleeping and after waking up, these are the terminals. Whatever we do to ourselves in those times, our subconscious tries to receive them, and then it kind of replicates them in the daytime also. So we have to train ourselves again to breathe well, to breathe deeply. Yeah, there is another question.
How many rounds should be done for better results?
I would say around 20 to 30 to begin with. What is the best time to do this?
Early morning.
After you are done with your morning thing, like just just got up fresh and you've done with your basic things. After that, you can do it before your pranayama and everything. Empty
Great.
stomach is the best.
Yeah. So morning or evening with empty stomach is the best time.
Exactly. And as I said, you have to definitely sit straight. What is Ravi saying?
After doing 478 a few rounds of, I felt like a receiver. Nice technique. Thank you. Great.
Okay. Amazing.
Now
Our
we have become receiver.
our culture is full of such wonderful techniques. The only thing is that there is a gap between how fast science or evidence can prove, and there are few things which have been there, but we are taking time to gradually take out things from that huge box of ancient wisdom and then proving one by one. So 478 breathing is like when we call it in the modern technique, but there are definitely, when you call it in the ancient methodology, you call it as antakumbhak and bayakumbhak. There are many techniques like that. And 478 is a type of pranayam only. It is just that when you actually quantify it in terms of seconds or in terms of head count, then it becomes easier to replicate, because now you have a exact quantification and anybody will do it on a 478 manner. So
Somebody
like
is
this,
asking, is it similar to Basrika Pranayama?
no, it is
Basrika
not
is
similar.
something like you do it fast.
In Bastrika, you focus on inhalation and it is quite fast, exactly.
Fast.
So it
Yeah.
does not engage the nerve as it does in 478 breathing, because double time of exhalation is the golden keyword here. If you just do it, even see, so many times we are just waiting and getting anxious outside a meeting room, or we are in the cab and we are just juggling with our phones out of nowhere and just looking at the social media and statuses. Why not do a double exhalation and keep yourself supercharged for the next meeting or wherever you're about to reach? So it's like just free of cost, a tool to charge. We always look at the phone's battery. Oh, it's 30%. Let me find my charger. But what about you? When you feel 30% of your energy, how do you charge yourself? There is not a physical charger. Breathing is the charger for you. So just make use of it whenever possible. There are so many times when we are sitting idle and thinking what to do, and we have nothing except Instagram, WhatsApp, or Twitter.
Yeah. So it is something like Puraka, Kumbhaka, and Brechika, right? Something in pranayama,
Yes,
the people call it as.
exactly.
So if
This
somebody
is
is
like
looking for
a anta.
pranayama, that's the names. Yeah.
Yeah, this is like a anta kumbhak.
Yeah.
When you hold it internally. There are few more techniques when you also make use of the Bahya Kumbhak, where you hold it outside. And then there are multiple techniques such as box breathing, which is for patients who have a kind of post-traumatic stress, or they have some other trauma. So then they have to do a box breathing where it is done as 4 4 4 4 instead of 4 7 8. So inhalation in 4, holding for 4, exhalation in 4, and then holding out for 4. But that
Mm.
is for some specific mental disorders. So there's a whole lot of techniques. There is one more methodology for deep breathing and engaging the deeper parts of lungs, which is called as a Vibhavari technique. In that, what you have to do is you have to keep your fingers like this and put them on the joint of your torso and legs. So where at top of the top body part meets the legs, at that junction. So if you're sitting in a cross leg position, then you have to place them at the junction like this, and then you have to do normal breathing. This will be first part. In the second part, you have to keep it like this and then place them at the same joint of your torso and thighs. And in the third part, you have to make it like this. So maybe I'll share it in a video format to you, and then maybe you can send the mailer to
Sure.
all of them. Because right now I think it's not a perfect time, and people are not empty stomach. But yes,
Right.
what I'm saying is there's so many techniques to train ourselves again to be like a child and
Yeah.
feel flexible and strong.
Yes. Yeah.
So uh, this is the part of breathing training, and there's one more video on how we can do belly breathing.
Diaphragmatic breathing or belly breathing. The diaphragm is the most efficient muscle of breathing. It is a large, dome-shaped muscle located at the base of the lungs. Your abdominal muscles help move the diaphragm and give you more power to empty your lungs. 1. When you're first learning how to belly breathe, you might find it easier to follow these instructions while lying down or sitting in a comfortable chair, maintaining good posture. Your body should be as relaxed as possible. You can use a pillow under your knees to support your legs. Close your eyes for even better awareness. Scan your body for tension. 2. Pay attention to your breathing. Place one hand on the part of your chest or abdomen that seems to rise and fall the most with each breath. If this spot is in your chest, you are not utilizing the lower part of your lungs. 3. Place both hands on your abdomen and follow your breathing, noticing how your abdomen rises and falls. 4. Breathe through your nose as deep as you can. 5. Notice if your chest is moving in harmony with your abdomen. 6. Now place one hand on your abdomen and one on your chest. 7. Inhale deeply and slowly through your nose into your abdomen. You should feel your abdomen rise with this inhalation, and your chest should move only a little. 8. Exhale through your mouth, keeping your mouth, tongue, and jaw relaxed. 9. Relax as you focus for more deeper and longer controlled breaths. You might also want to try putting a book, leaflet, or even a newspaper on your belly. That way you can watch it rise and fall while you practice, letting you know that you're breathing deeply with your diaphragm instead of shallowly with your chest. Pay attention to the flow of your breath. Strive to make it smooth and gentle. Try to find a steady rhythm in your breathing. At first, practice this exercise 5 to 10 minutes about 3 to 4 times per day. Gradually increase the amount of time you spend doing this exercise, and perhaps even increase the effort of the exercise by placing a book on your abdomen. As you become more comfortable with belly breathing, try doing it sitting up, and it can even be done while standing. Although breathing sounds like it should be easy to do,
Yeah. So deep along with the a prolonged exhalation, belly breathing is something that can be practiced very easily before you go to sleep, and it is easier practiced, and also we can change, we can feel the difference while we are lying down. If you practice belly breathing that you have never done before, then it will be difficult to notice the change if you're sitting. But if you are lying down, it will be easier to check the downfall of am I audible? Is
Yes.
something?
Yes. You are. Yeah.
Yeah. So all those who want to understand how belly breathing works, please start doing before you sleep. I mean, when you are in lying position, and then you'll be able to do it even when you are sitting or walking or standing. Yeah. So this is about breathing, and there are so many other things. When I think most of you would also be aware of and would be doing a lot of different types of pranayams and. Depending on the body condition and depending on the weather and your own body type, it should be chosen properly. And we should not just do any pranayam because it is being shown on a video or everybody is saying that it is good. You should see how your body type is, because some breath works increase the heat in the body, some breath works are not good for certain conditions. So make sure that you understand what is good for you and also do it perfectly well, because sometimes when it is not done well, first it won't give benefit but it can also harm. So make sure that the breath work is done properly, and the normal deep breathing, normal belly breathing and double exhalation is the safest bet for everyone, except the very few conditions um, such as there is some condition called as this, yeah, COPD. Yeah, in COPD we have to make sure that the exhalation, the deep exhalation has to be monitored. Otherwise, these two, three things are something which are general, and that's why I shared them in the first place. After the breathing part, if there is any question, definitely you can ask, or in the end, we can talk about it. Body clock, I feel, is the most ignored part, especially in today's world when we are constantly buzzed with so many notifications and our life is all the time governed by various gadgets and whatnot. It becomes difficult to understand how the body wants us to operate. So, just like there are various time zones in the world, in the globe, and we cannot say that the entire globe should be following the same clock. In the same way, our body also has different body clocks. Our body also has different clocks, which means some parts of the body, some organs of the body will be more active at certain times, some parts will be totally inactive during certain times of the day, and accordingly we have to act, whether it is the time of our food, time for activity, time for sleep, time for work. We should make sure that we are in sync with the main master clock that is in our brain. In 2017, Jeffrey Hall, Michael Rosenbach, and Michael Young got Nobel Prize for this very concept, which we have always been hearing from our parents and grandparents, that you should sleep on time, you should eat on time, don't stay awake till late night. So all these things have always been there. But when something comes out as a discovery, then we start paying attention. Okay, this is important. Yes, now science is saying it, but it has been always there. And just by simply following how nature is operating, when the light is there we should be up and doing our work. When it's time for darkness, we should shut off our minds and our gadgets and everything. Yeah, it is difficult, but following it can have immense benefits. For example, in the morning, the large intestines are active to expel the leftovers of the food that we had. Then in the afternoon, the lungs are active, the liver is active. At night time from 10 a.m. to 2 a.m., the brain starts detoxifying, the brain starts doing things which are important for falling asleep. Then in the morning again, the heart becomes active to wake you up. That's why those who are already having some BP issues, they're more prone to problems in the early mornings because the heart is gearing up for the day. And likewise, the entire body has a system. We cannot rule the body by saying, no, this time I want to sleep, I want to eat. But unfortunately, our bodies, fortunately or unfortunately, our bodies have evolved in millions of years of time span with this night and day, with this light and dark cycle. And accordingly, the organs are organized by the brain. There is a master clock, and then there are individual organs clocks. So, what are the methods to keep it intact? Like, how can we bring it back to, how can we reset this clock? To reset this clock, there are certain things. And the most important thing to reset our body clock is to get ourselves exposed to sunlight properly and then to darkness properly. What does it mean? When we are sleeping, we should be in a proper dark space. What some people do is that, okay, there is a small bulb or there is some gleam of a gadget every now and then. We should try to be in as much dark as possible. And in the morning hours, we should expose ourselves in the afternoon or in the noon to proper sunlight in open. So when that contrast is given, the body resets itself. If there is always partial darkness, even when we are working, if there is a partial light even when we are sleeping, the body is always confused, the master clock is always confused. The wounds don't heal properly, the pancreas won't secrete insulin properly, then there will be blood sugar issues and so many issues at the mind, at the brain, and at the immunity and digestion levels. Everything is governed by this master clock. Even things like cancer, can you imagine, just by body clock we are suppressing it just because we feel like doing things at our own pace. Chrono disruption, as you can see, chrono means time. It is scientifically proven. There is something called as chronotherapy, where just by resetting the body clock, setting the times of your eating, of your sleeping, things are being resolved. Functional, sorry, yes, peptic ulcer, inflammation, cancers, and so many problems related to small intestine and large intestine. So this is a very interesting aspect to look at and follow in our lives. That if you have a certain time for breakfast, try to stick to it. If you have a breakfast at say 8 o'clock, have it at any cost from 7:30 to 8:30. Like there should be 1 hour window. You should not have it at 8 o'clock one day and at 10 o'clock another day. Likewise for all the meals. If you're not hungry at all, that's a different thing, and definitely your body is not asking for food. That means enzymes are not being there. Enzymes are not there, so you should not eat. But if everything is fine, then the meal time should be followed. This is one thing. Following the times, then exposing yourselves to proper light and dark cycles. These are the things that can help you reset your body clock. Even the gut microbiota and the motility. There are so many people who complain of constipation and keep on taking laxatives, different kind of churans and other medicines. But again, just like sun, just like the suprachiasmatic nucleus, which is the master clock, SCN, as we can see on the top, if that is synchronized with sunlight, it gives a balanced impact on your intestine. And as you can see on the bottom, normal circadian control of gastrointestinal function, and on the right, compromised esophageal, small bowel, colon, and rectal motility, compromised gut microflora, which means that the bacteria which help us in breakdown of so many foods, they are compromised. And when our gut microflora is compromised, then the entire digestion goes for a toss. More than our own contribution to our health, there is a huge significant, which is often underrated, role of these microbes, which are friendly bacteria. And the biggest country or the biggest colony of these friendly bacteria is our gut. So even they can get severely affected if we don't follow a body clock. I think this problem is mostly there with youngsters these days who feel uh, so much in control of the external world. And I think the generation before us has been more sincere towards how the body should be kept in sync with nature, especially in terms of sleeping and waking cycles. So, does anybody have any questions? As I said, there are three major tips. First is sleeping with complete darkness, exposing yourself to sunlight at least for 1 hour in various forms. Of course, walking or doing something else which can be done outdoors, and making sure that your food windows are in certain 1 hour slots and not disrupting them a lot. If there is any other question you can ask regarding the body. I think there is some question.
How to manage the sleep for night shift job holders?
Yeah, for night shift, actually, there are certain foods that can help you, and also certain breath works, which can actually give you a better quality of sleep, the even if the hours are disrupted. So, in that case, how many hours, if I may ask, do you sleep in the daytime?
Sheikh Amanullah, can you type it? How many hours? Only 1 hour in daytime? Okay.
So, in entire 24-hour cycle, you just sleep for 1 hour?
All right. So this is mainly for night shift job holders. Is it like a kind of question you're trying to ask for someone else, or it is for you? Okay. He
Can we
is
take
shifting from day shift to night shift, so he is just like trying to understand how can he manage it.
Yes, it is difficult. And whatever we say about, trying to pacify the problem and say that, okay, we can sleep in the daytime. But actually, if it's just a matter of a few months, few weeks, then it's fine. In long term case, definitely it starts taking toll and some of the other chronic problems occur. So if it is for small time, it can be managed, and maybe we can talk to him after the session. Maybe we can unmute him if that's okay for you, Praveen.
Yeah, yeah, we'll try that. Yes, yes.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Shreya,
So
we are
yeah,
actually
remember
at the
to
top of
just
the hour.
sorry.
Yeah, we are actually at the top of the hour. Almost
Yeah,
1 hour. Yeah.
sure. So in the end, I'm so good at sleeping I can do it with my eyes closed. So let's talk about sleep. Like sleep looks like the magic potion that makes every trouble go away, and any problem that seems so significant before we sleep, in the morning we automatically get a solution. I'm sure many of you must have experienced that. In the morning we are at our creative best, we are at our intuitive best, we are at our happy best, and also we feel very light and fresh. So yeah, a good night's sleep is actually the best medicine. And looking at the number of sleeping pills that is rising in West and even in India, that's quite alarming. I mean, something which is so easy. I mean, look at the baby. It's like so easy when you're tired and within few minutes, within few seconds, you fall asleep. How have we repelled something so easy as sleep? We have repelled it so much. It's like a butterfly, it comes like that, but if you try to catch hold of it, if you take sleeping pills, it becomes more and more difficult. So when I think of sleep, it is so precious that I'm sure you all must have heard about prisoners of war, where the prisoners were not allowed to sleep, and that was the only punishment, and that was the biggest punishment. They were not allowed to sleep, and that would lead to every disaster on their physical and mental level. They did not need to give them any poison or any violent treatments. All that I mean, that was enough that you don't let them sleep. Now, what I call is this prisoners of war, like POW, as prisoners of work. It's like POW only, but we are like, oh, I need to finish this. There's this deadline. I need to raise funds. I need to prepare this pitch deck. Now we ourselves are giving ourselves this self torture by various things such as work, such as foods or caffeinated beverages, which automatically shun off the sleep. It decreases the secretion of melatonin. As most of you would know, melatonin is what induces sleep in us, and these kind of substances reduce the secretion of melatonin. Then artificial melatonin has to be consumed. Why are we doing this? Of course, we feel that, okay, whenever we'll sleep, it'll be there. But we keep on doing for many years and then we realize that no, now I can't sleep. Now what to do? So why not get alert about it immediately? And what are the things to have a better sleep? Of course, avoiding long hours of sleep during the day, and I'm sure it's not possible for people who are working in offices, but still, that is something to be taken care of. And going to the bed at the same time every night, refraining from drinking things such as tea, coffee, alcohol in times, of course, some things are to be avoided completely, but even tea and coffee in the later hours of the day can interfere with the proper onset of sleep. Then, the types of light. We all know that blue light filters are important, but even in our rooms, the color of the bulbs or the lights should be similar to a glowing candle and not bluish or whitish. So the tube lights and the LEDs, the color, the bluish and the whitish color is not good because it kind of again dulls the melatonin. And if you use a warm color of the light in your bedrooms, if you're working after say 7 p.m., wherever you're working, make sure that the surrounding, the ambient light is yellowish. It is in a warm tint, not in a cool tint. That is very important. And the lack of sleep, we all know that they are very fatal, especially regarding heart. And we all are seeing that celebrities, sports people, famous famous celebs, we are seeing, oh, what happened? Suddenly heart fail, suddenly heart attack. What happened? We don't realize that everybody has been pushing themselves off the limits and just chasing the dreams. We're not realizing that we are not sleeping enough. The quality of sleep is not good. They might be having the best of the bedrooms, the best of the interior, but the quality of sleep is so poor because we are busy making the empire of our dreams. Of course, immunity, diabetes, whatnot. Sleep deprivation can invite all the troubles in terms of physical health. So let us sleep well by following some rules and even sticking to certain rules. For example, the type of mattress and turning off the digital gadgets before 1 hour of sleeping and after 1 hour of waking up. This also helps immensely. If there are any other questions about sleep, and yes, as I said, doing deep breathing, belly breathing activities at the bedtime, it also helps to improve the quality of your sleep, and the body can do the detoxification more extensively, more efficiently. So let us have a better sleep routine, and the best time to go to bed is say from 9:30 to 10:30. But I think now it is going to 11, 12, 1, and there is no time only. But the best time is 10, according to ancient texts also, and also as per the modern circadian rhythm theory. So 10 p.m. is the best time, and waking up, say 1 hour before sunrise, is the best time to wake up in terms of immunity, in terms of cognition, in terms of memory, creativity, whatnot. So I wish that we can stick to these three rules of these three aspects of following a good body clock, deep breathing, and sleeping. So there are a few more lessons that we have from various parts of the globe, which are called as the blue zones, where people are living the longest. They are active past the age of 100. And there are certain things which have been observed in them, that they have a very healthy social circle. There is no time urgency. Like, unlike us, like we are always, oh, I have so much to do, I have so much to achieve. But they have a relaxed time. That's why they are in sync with their body. They can listen to their bodies and mind signals, and they have a very healthy, it's a healthy activity in terms of they are in sync with nature. Also, they are doing their uh, favorite pastimes. Also, they are not culturally isolated. So I just thought of touch basing on this, because even those blue zone studies tell us about the importance of body clock, time for relaxation, time for meditation, time for doing your own creative stuff, and sleeping and resting well. So mindfulness is something that we all should do, so that we can practice these things. If we are always in a hurry, we'll not be able to reach anywhere. And I just wanted to share one more thing about what I've been doing from last year, especially. I've been doing it since long, but last year has been very specifically active for me in terms of how we want to be healthy, but we are forgetting that the systems from where the food, water, and air is coming, if we have contaminated it to such an extent that everything that goes in us is not healthy, how can we be healthy? So we started a campaign of live soil, where we started urging people to bring their own steel spoons and their own steel bottles, rather than using plastic bottles and plastic spoons and plastic glasses. And we used to pick them up from various eateries, and say that, okay, if you can carry a mobile phone of 200 grams, of 150 grams, why not a spoon of 15 grams? And then we got the plastic waste sorted, cleaned, and sent them to various recyclers. And understanding that our food security is under lot of danger, let all of us get a little more active. So yes, for health and wellness group sessions, for personal lifestyle correction, and soil health sessions, you can always reach out to me through my LinkedIn, and we can also take up some questions.
Yeah, there was one question by Ravi. He's asking, are acupressure techniques good for inducing sleep? I use some techniques when I am not falling asleep in time.
Which techniques?
Acupressure,
Solfege?
acupressure techniques.
Let me just look
Ac-
at the chart.
Acupressure.
Acupressure. Okay,
Yeah,
acupressure.
yeah.
Yes.
Is it
Acupressure
good to?
techniques.
Is it good?
It is okay, but I would say that because acupressure does not directly affect your mind, breathing is something that will automatically engage your brain. And that is how it will have an entire spectrum of inducing sleep. Like, it will be very effective. Acupressure will be very indirect, and I don't personally recommend it
Okay.
much.
So Ravi, next time try the 478 breath boxing. Maybe that will help then.
Belly breathing and deep
Yeah,
breathing, yes.
yeah, yes,
Have
yes.
I mean, okay, let me also ask you this way. Has it helped you before?
Ravi, has it helped you? He's been using it since he's using whenever he is not feeling asleep at time.
Maybe he's doing it in the daytime. Okay, that's great.
Yeah,
Perfect then. Maybe yes. So it also depends on what kind of technique you learned. But for most of the people, breathing also works well. You can try both and let us know.
yeah.
Thanks. Any other questions?
Any other questions?
Causes and treatments for IBS. Okay, inflammatory bowel syndrome. See, the biggest problem one can be body clock. So today we are talking about body clock, breathing, and sleeping. But in IBS, the major role is of diet. And for diet, main thing that you need to check is that are you taking any wrong food combinations? Because what happens when we look at calories, everything just seems fine because we are doing it in a very quantitative manner. But there are certain food combinations we feel that okay, mixing this is making it tasty and it looks good. Why can't I have it? So you have to understand the basics of food combinations to an extent in terms of understanding the IBS. And oh, I just lost track of the chat.
Oh, you want it? You want it?
Yeah, yeah. I'll just
Okay.
open the chat box.
I just started sharing the Q&A screen.
Mm-hmm. I'm just trying to look at the charts. Yeah, yeah. Okay, sure. So, causes and treatment for IBS. So, I would need to understand your diet profile. Like, since morning to late night, what all are you eating? Because food correction can alleviate the symptoms and the problems of IBS to more than 80% just by changing the food. So, that needs an entire food profile correction for you, Nurul. And KV Raman is asking for diet, but depending on what problem you have, in general, what I would say is that never start your day with ultra processed foods. For example, tea and biscuits is like the staple food for everyone to wake up. But it's like when a baby is there in the home, we always make sure that we give the best food to the child. When we wake up after a night of rejuvenation, the body expects and deserves the best foods which are very natural and which give a perfect start for the day. So tea is a stimulant. Tea is not a food. Tea is a stimulant. It can make you feel wide awake. But why do you need that? You need that because we are so much dulled with the exertion. Why do you need biscuit which is full of sugar, which is full of refined flour, which is full of palm oil? We cannot afford to do this and then say that, oh, I don't feel healthy. So please stop using tea, coffee, and biscuit in the morning. Start your day either with jaggery water, with coconut water, with sprouts, with seasonal fruits. Don't mix your fruits like one slice of banana, two slices of papaya. Don't do that. Use, say, one entire guava, two guava, or say half papaya. Use like that. Use a mono fruit diet in your morning. I'm just giving very generic principles because I don't know who is asking and what problems do they have. But the very basics are this: don't start your day with stimulants. Always have a gap of at least 45 minutes to 1 hour between your water and your lunch or dinner, like whatever meals are there. Try to have it dinner at least 3 hours before sleeping. This is the golden rule for anti-aging, for so many health issues, especially chronic problems. Try to have your last meal before 3 hours of sleeping. And once a while, not once a while, I would say at least thrice a week, have millets instead of rice and wheat. Millets, as you know, government has also declared this year as a millet year. Millets are traditional grains. They are very healthy, light on digestion, and there's certain studies which show that their protein is so much more digestible and they are much more whole in terms of their nutrition. So have millets once in a while. So millets include, of course, ragi, bajra, proso millet, and couscous. Not couscous, sorry, buckwheat. I'm so sorry. So there are many millets, and you can find according to the local regional cuisine. Try to find different dishes made up with millets. So use of millets, use of less use of ultra processed foods. The more one more thing that I would like to highlight here when you talked about diet is the use of fibers. So our gut is designed in a way that everything that the body does not want is expelled in the gut, in the intestines, and the body expects it to be expelled along with the fibers. But if you're not having fibers, it will be reabsorbed what was meant to be discarded will be reabsorbed in the bloodstream. And when it is reabsorbed, then it will go to various parts of the body and cause diseases. So please have one good serving of salads and fruits. If you can just have fruits in your breakfast, nothing like it. If you're having three chapati, have so much salad that your three chapatis are reduced to two chapatis. At least there should be that much ratio of fiber so that the body can fight the abusive substances on a daily basis. You cannot say that, oh, after 2023, one fine day I will wake up and have one entire truck of vegetables. That won't help. We need to do the cleaning on a daily basis just by eating proper amount of fiber.
Yeah, somebody is asking, what is your thesis of PhD?
My PhD thesis was with herbal extracts along with nanomaterials, but my entire life thesis, I would say, is with nature, because I've found that no good magician or healer or doctor is, bigger than nature. So we should resort to understanding these basic fundamentals about how to live well. So, KV Ramanna, could I answer some of your concerns about diet?
Yes. Yeah, obviously, yes. Okay. Um, all right. Any other questions? Anyone?
Intermittent fasting. Yes. Intermittent fasting is good. Time restricted eating. Yes, definitely.
Okay. Intermittent fasting.
It is also important. You are doing fasting, but what are you eating when you are eating? We say that, okay, we're fasting, but while you are eating, are you using refined flour? Are you using refined oils? Are you using. So, sticking to the uh, things that has always been taught to us by our parents and grandparents, such as using non-refined oils, such as using whole grains, and eating local and seasonal. That is at the heart of health. When we are dependent on imported foods, packaged foods, preserved foods, it's really wreaking havoc. Last year, I did a study on 3,000 food labels, and I was shocked to see more than 80% of the brands are not at all consumer conscious. And maybe I'll share those insights on my social media channel soon. But it's actually like nobody really cares for your health. It's only you have to understand your health. And whatever we see on the flashy labels, oh, there is fortified with vitamin E, it absorbs low fat and whatnot. But when you go to the bag and you read those labels on those asterisks and the code words, there is no one to tell you that, oh, what can be the cumulative effect of all those things. So whatever you can see, whatever comes without a label from Mother Nature is the best for you. Of course, we have to be conscious about certain things, but in most of the cases, ultra processed foods are like the real threat to our health.
Okay. Maybe that's good. We actually don't have any other questions, looks like. So, couple of announcements. One announcement I have, guys, like we are going to have an Agile conference coming up on this 21st of January, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Um, so you all must have received a registration link through Mera events. Kindly register and then make sure that, yeah, Vinay has shared the registration link. So through that you can register and you can avail that. It's a hybrid mode. So do check for the details in the registration link and then register accordingly. And very important, I shared this link and again I'm sharing it in the chat window. For any kind of questions that you have again on this particular session or any feedback that you wanted to pass, please check out the questions and any feedback you wanted to share. You can share it on the LinkedIn post. Again, I shared the link. So click on the link or scan the QR code, share the link and share your feedback to us as well as to Shreya, Dr. Shreya, so that we'll get to know what exactly the information that you are looking for and how do you like the session, or is there any other follow-up topics that we can talk to Shreya and then get a lot of other information. It's a very, I know um, everybody is giving a lot of good feedback through the current chat window. That's very, very important. As well as no, the information in the chat window will be just now looked at and then we can feel about it. But to get to know more about other details, I think the feedback will help us to give more inputs to you all. So take out your phones and scan the QR code or the link that I have shared in the chat window. You can now share it. You can share your feedback. I know somebody's feeling sleepy, but yeah. Thanks everyone. And it's a very wonderful session. Lot of insights, and somebody already quoted. She has made us to go closer to the nature and feel. She has again proved that the nature can heal a lot of our problems and health problems. So I think most of you can follow it and then get used about get experience about it.
And the best part here is that all the techniques that are available to us are free of cost. Like we
Yes,
all are mad after
yes,
money, but imagine following body clock, sleeping, and breathing
yes,
well. Right now, we can do it. So why not
yes.
use these free of cost chargers to charge our life batteries? And
Correct.
all of you are like really welcome to connect with me on LinkedIn and can get in touch with me even for the personal wellness programs.
Yeah. And there was
Thank you.
one question: is non-veg good, digestible in your thoughts?
Um, it's like only in very specific conditions can it be recommended, but I feel that it is not great for human digestion. I mean, and the anatomy also does not support it very much. So I feel that in specific conditions, specific geographies, or even in certain health conditions, it can be recommended as a medicine. But as far as all that we need in terms of a daily basis nutrition, vegetarian food is good enough.
Wow, great.
Yeah, I mean
Okay.
that is a very long discussion, and there would be a lot. There can be a lot of debate about it. But I feel, and with even many life transforming stories of those who were totally, I mean, who were very much into non-veg, and when they switched, and they could find ways, and they feel that there is no lack of anything that they feel, and they feel much more energetic. And in fact, I mean, there would be studies on both the sides. There are so many studies that say, especially in terms of non-veg food, that induce many chronic diseases that vegetarian food doesn't. So yeah, it is something that can be talked about for another hour.
Wow. Okay. All right. So that's very good. So I'm sure you guys are taking the link from chat window and now posting your feedback, or through the QR code you're sharing your feedback on the LinkedIn. For all the PMI credential holders, the PDUs will be auto-credited to your PMI ID. Sorry, PMI ID. 1 hour of one PDU of power skills will be added into your credentials. Okay, with that, I thank you so much for your participation. Thank you so much for the insightful and the thoughtful session, Dr. Shreya. And I have to thank Sita, who was one of our past board member and also currently volunteer, who has recommended your credentials to us and made our group of people or our chapter members have an insightful session about the healthy and very good wellness habits. Thank you so much. And I have one of my board member available on the meeting now. Vinay, thanks for staying and sharing all the information about the Agile conference. Thank you so much. Other two members, Venkat, President, and Manohar has left the meeting for other personal reasons. Okay, let me stop the recording. I'll be available for